All right, hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. All right, so I feel like compelled to make this video because I took the time to look up how the vaccine works, and I actually would like to put a video out there to anyone that maybe either doesn't know how the vaccine works, because you never see anyone on the news come on and actually talk about the vaccine itself and why this is a breakthrough technology, and to help just stop misinformation. So I'm going to go over as simply as possible how this vaccine works so that you can maybe visualize it and then not be afraid of it. And because I also think this is going to be a big future of medicine. So let's go over it simply. Simple as possible. First of all, what is RNA, right? It's an mRNA vaccine. So what does that mean? Most people don't really even know. The news doesn't tell you. All RNA does is it transmits genetic code to the cell so that it can make protein. That's it. It transmits genetic code so that the cell can make a protein. That's it. So now you got to ask yourself, okay, why? Why do I care? Why does this matter, right? Well, it's actually pretty simple. And it's pretty brilliant that these guys thought of this, even though it took them like 20 years to do it. But the virus has something called a spike protein, okay? And the spike protein is what gets inside, sticks to your lungs, and replicates. Now, this was a bat virus, okay? It didn't come from another human. This is jumped species, so your body has never seen this virus before. It's never seen this virus before, right? So the virus shows up. Hey, just call me Batman. I'm here to defeat you. And so your immune system will sense the spike protein and try to fight it. Now, unfortunately, for about 2% of the population, when that protein kicks in, the immune system kicks in, tries to fight it, and ends up doing damage. It overreacts, it destroys the lungs, you suffocate, and you die, okay? So what's cool about this vaccine is it turns out every virus has its own genetic code. I never knew that before. I'm sure there are a lot of people that don't know that. COVID-19 has its own genetic marker, okay? So, now that we know that, the reason why the vaccine uses mRNA to transmit the code of the spike protein to your cells is so that your cell will create the spike protein. Now, your body goes from seeing a virus it's never seen before to something it can recognize at the genetic level. Now, if you think about it, that's pretty gangster. Throughout most of human history, to create some kind of immunity, we've had to use a germ or some little version of a virus to inoculate ourselves from other disease. But now we've used technology to identify a virus at the genetic level. Okay, so why does herd immunity matter, and how do we get it? So the bottom line is, when you get the 2 shots, you produce a ton of antibodies. Now, if the protein's a spike protein that sticks to your lungs, an antibody is kind of shaped like this. It kind of goes like that. It blocks the spike protein from sticking to your lungs, so it can't replicate. Now, the antibody doesn't work alone. The antibody catches the spike, and then the T cell comes in and knocks it out. So, if we all get vaccinated at the same time, okay, the spike protein has nowhere to land because we're all packed with antibodies that block the spike from being able to attach. However, if some of us get vaccinated and some of us do not get vaccinated, then the virus can land, it can attach, it can mutate, but the pandemic goes on. It keeps spreading. People keep dying. So I want to get to another misinformation thing, or at least maybe you could help understand one other thing you keep seeing in the news. They keep saying that the effectiveness goes away over time. Like the Pfizer was 94% effective, but 6 months later it was 64% effective, but still 90% hospitalization prevention effective. So you got to ask yourself, why? Well, if you think about it, after you get 2 shots, okay, you've just produced a bunch of antibodies. Your body has just thought it fought COVID-19, okay? So once it's done, the immune system probably calms down. The antibodies go down. Your body thinks it's defeated the virus. However, when real COVID shows up, your body goes, I know you, but it still has to fight it now. You're not packed with antibodies. Your defenses have been calmed. So now you may get a breakthrough infection and you may have to fight it, okay? The whole idea is to avoid this. We don't want this bat virus inside of us, okay? We want to defeat the bat virus, all right? So if we all get antibodied up, all right, and get it in all our systems, the virus has nowhere to land, it's got nowhere to go, it disappears. If half of us get the vaccine and half of us don't, COVID stays and just keeps doing damage. This is very important to understand because this will help, A, stop you from being afraid of it, and 2, realize this is future technology. Moderna right now is seeing if this tech will stop the HIV vaccine. In fact, if it turns out all these viruses have genetic markers, we'll be able to teach our body how to vaccinate against all these types of viruses before they even show up. So this is a big deal. In fact, you know, let's say cancer cells have genetic markers, or maybe a certain kind of marker. We might be able to teach our body how to fight cancer without radiation, without chemo. Now, you know, this is theoretical. But as you can see, for the first time in human history, we've done it. We've taught ourselves how to fight a virus before it even showed up, which is a breakthrough. It's a big deal. So I hope this helps you just visualize what the vaccine is doing. And if you get it and you want to share it with people so that they can share it with others, so that they can visualize it. So, because I personally think that the reason why you still have about 60 to 80 million Americans not getting vaccinated is just good old-fashioned fear. No one has told them how the vaccine works and how cool this technology is. So my hope is that people will share this video just to get the basics down, just to understand what this vaccine is doing, why it matters, and why it's going to save lives. And to not be afraid of it. Forget the political stuff. Forget the mandates. Forget all that. Just think about your body. You have, for the first time in maybe the history of humanity, to teach your body how to defeat a virus before it shows up. Before it even gets in you, you have the knowledge to defeat it at the genetic level. That's strong. That's amazing. These guys could win a Nobel Prize. It's a big deal. So anyway, that's why I made this video. You know, back to normal keto stuff coming up. But thank you very much for watching. Until next time, be well.